Gina and you're watching Snap Science. Today I'm going to talk about earthquakes, its definition, some facts of it, and all that has something to do with it. So earthquakes are sudden rolling or shaking events that happen along cracks in the Earth's surface, called fault lines, and can be felt over large areas, although they usually last less than 1 minute. Earthquakes can't be predicted, although scientists are working on it. Earthquakes are evidence of movements of the tectonic plates that carry the continents. Most of the areas where earthquakes take place are along the edges of plates. Friction holds the plate edges together for a while, but continuing movement means that huge stresses build up. The tension is suddenly released when the plates shift sharply, but this causes an earthquake. There are other causes of earthquakes, but they all involve sudden movement of the crust along a fault or crack. In recent studies, geologists claim that global warming is one of the reasons for increased seismic activity. According to these studies, melting glaciers and rising sea levels disturb the balance of pressure on Earth's tectonic plate, thus causing increase in the frequency and intensity of earthquakes. The strength and location of earthquakes are measured by an instrument called seismograph, which can detect ground movements. Sometimes, the movements from an earthquake can be detected thousands of kilometers away. The Richter scale measures their strength. An earthquake measuring 2 on the Richter scale is very slight and will probably not be detected, but one measuring more than 7 will destroy buildings. Earthquakes can be violent enough to toss people around and destroy whole cities. The largest earthquakes in historic time have been of magnitude slightly over 9, although there is no limit to the possible magnitude. In its most general sense, the word earthquake is used to describe any seismic event, whether natural or caused by humans, that generates seismic waves. Earthquakes are caused mostly by rupture or geological faults, but also by other events such as volcanic activity, landslides, mine blasts, and nuclear tests. An earthquake's point of initial rupture is called its focus or hypocenter. The epicenter is a point at ground level directly above the hypocenter. An earthquake that occurs after a previous earthquake or the main shock is called aftershock. An aftershock is in the same region of the main shock but always of a smaller magnitude. If an aftershock is longer than the main shock, the aftershock is redesignated as the main shock and the original main shock is redesignated as foreshock. There is a lot of evidence that mammals and birds are able to detect the onset of an earthquake, but no one knows how they do this. For centuries, observers have said that animals seem to give advance warning of earthquakes by changes in their behavior. It has been suggested that they may be able to hear the faint creaking and groaning noise of the crust as it stretches, or they may be able to smell gases released along the fault line as tension builds up. Here are some tips to remember during an earthquake. Stay where you are until the shaking stops. Drop to the ground before the earthquakes drop you. Cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling debris. Hold on to any sturdy covering so you can move with it until the shaking stops. Move away from buildings, street lights, and utility wires. The energy released in an earthquake is enormous, as much as 10,000 times the power released by the world's first atomic bomb. So, better prepare before you encounter one. So that would be all for today's tutorial. Keep on watching Snap Science Tutorial and kindly visit our page www.snapsciencetutorial.com for more updates. Thank you.